Welcome to my full moon video. My name is Astrological and I live on Maui. So I do most of my work online, my forecast readings and my astrology readings. So if you hang in there till the end of the video, I would like you to get your free birth chart, because everything we're going to talk about in the forecast videos I'm presenting to you will be especially based on where this will happen in your chart. So for you to have your birth chart handy and to become more specific with the information will be definitely helpful. Welcome to my video about the full moon in Gemini astrology. So you found your way here because you're interested about the specific full moon, or because you have planets in Gemini in your chart and you want to inquire a little deeper about what that means and how you can find the high road as a Gemini. So this is the right place, no matter if you're just interested in the full moon or if you have any planets in Gemini, sun, moon, ascendant, or other planets. That will count as well. Therefore, the full moon astrology coming up talks about Gemini astrology, and the personality of it and what that means for us, for all of us. So the full moon is always pretty spectacular because we can see it in the heavens, in the skies. But it's always good to keep in mind that the full moon actually started at the new moon. And the new moon was in Scorpio on November 11th. So in a way, even if we give a specific character to the full moon in Gemini, it's always good to keep in mind that it's just flowering and coming to a fullness from where it started out with the new moon sign. So this particular full moon will be in 3 degrees, 20 minutes in Gemini. It's happening at 2:44 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, November 25th, 2015. So we will talk about the full moon in Gemini, the archetype and personality, and then I will give you 5 tips on how you can ride the Gemini wave, as I call it. I'm living in Maui, and here it's all about how you surf and ride the wave, and it's very exhilarating if you're able to do that. And if not, you're crashing and you get grounded or drowned. So I always pay a lot of attention to what are the high ends, the high possibility of a specific sign, and what are the things you can do with the winds of the stars behind you. And then you can take proper advantage. A little bit about me. My name is Astrological. I'm originally from Germany, have been living on Maui for 20 years now. So I'm doing most of my work online, sitting at the computer, doing my forecasts and do astrological counseling, which I am very passionate about, because after 37 years, there is no doubt in my mind that it truly deeply helps us to live our highest, best potential in this lifetime. And the deciding factor is of course our state of consciousness. So astrology is a wonderful way to widen that state of consciousness into a wisdom perspective. I do have a gift for you at the end of the video. When you sign up for my newsletter, you will get access to your free birth chart, your free horoscope, and your love stone report, which will give you the best true birthstone healing gem for your heart based on the Venus position in your chart. So I hope you will find that helpful. In the world of astrology, everything comes back to the basic document we work with, which is your birth chart, your horoscope. So even if we talk about the moon phases and what's happening when new moon, full moon, all that, but of course it comes down to where your moon is in your personal chart, because your moon describes your inner mood, your needs. So we look at the moon as your heart and soul, and the emotional filter you have towards the world. So the driving need to keep yourself safe and what it takes for you to feel that. So overall, the moon in your personal chart is the source and the symbol for joy and happiness. So Then, when you know where the full moon in Gemini is happening in your chart, and by any means it might connect with your moon being in the same sign or with other planets in your chart, then you can see how really truly important the current moon is, and how it will activate aspects in your inner chart. And then astrology gets really interesting. It is interesting. Some people are really into lunar astrology, and I can really see their point, because we are so connected to the moon cycle. We can see and feel the moon waxing and waning, so we can follow the moon throughout the months and can get more self-conscious and aligned with our inner world of feelings. So in a way, I always like to say it's a form of emotional intelligence that can evolve if we follow the lunar cycle consciously. So in general, with any full moon, there is an emotional fullness there, an overflowing from the unconsciousness into our consciousness. So it is always a chance to become more self-conscious and more self-realized, to just take that moment to feel and listen to what's going on inside. And then, of course, the specifics of the full moon will play out according to the sign it is in. So let's talk a little bit more about the mysteries of Gemini. So Gemini is the first of the air signs. So you see here the first symbol, that's for Gemini. So Gemini is looked at as a sign of thirst for knowledge and experience. So it's really about perception and perceiving the world through our minds. So Gemini is ruled by Mercury, as well as Virgo is ruled by Mercury. But here in Gemini, Mercury takes on the archetype of the teacher, the storyteller, the communicator. So we look at the Gemini personality as the witness, the student, the teacher, the butterfly, I really like that one, or the scientist. So what all of those have in common is that they perceive the world through their mind, through their intellectual channels. So with Gemini, we're learning about life through a multitude of experiences. So we throw ourselves fully into life and learn through that. And what's happening, it's sharpening the intellect, the facilities of the mind. And through all those different experiences we have ourselves and all the different connections and social interactions we're having, we become aware of there is no capital letter truth. There is only a constantly changing perspective, a constantly changing level of truth we're able to hold. And that is really something very important for Gemini to learn. So qualities of the Gemini personalities we know of is they're very curious. They're often a little restless. They're outgoing. They have a wide open mind. They can be good at listening, not just speaking, but also listening is a big part of Gemini. And there's a sense of easygoing with Gemini people, the flexibility and outgoing in their general nature. And of course, every sign has a shadow, where for Gemini, the shadow has to do with a sense of disconnection. Disconnection from people around you, or disconnection from your own self. So sometimes we know intellectual people, we know they're just like only living in their head, they're living from the neck up. So there might be strong identifications with thoughts and idealization that this is the truth. And obviously that's not the objective truth. And then Geminis can get through life being distracted all the time. So that's why I like the image of the butterfly, the idea of going from flower to flower, idea, experience to another idea, another experience. So there might be the sense of somebody is just flitting through life and not really resting on a specific plant or flower long enough to really truly make sense out of the information. So sometimes you see Geminis as a little spacey, not really grounded, which connects with this idea of living from the neck up. As an evolutionary astrologer, I'm always interested to look at a chart or a planetary position from the evolutionary perspective, which tells me what the soul is really after. So the evolutionary goal for Gemini is to appreciate life's diversity, to come to that place of an open mind, that curiosity, and ultimately to find one's own voice. So this is something when you have one or more planets in Gemini, which is really important and which you're kind of majoring in. This is your lesson plan for this lifetime. So now for all of us, it's just the full moon in that, but nevertheless, it carries that quality for all of us to right now to be in a more expanded, more open mind, more flexible place than we usually are. So let's get to the applications and the 5 steps you can take and how to ride the wave with Gemini. So we talked about stimulation, about the quality of novelty and how important that is, and the element of surprise. So make space for all those qualities this month. This is a nice thing to consciously integrate. So with Gemini, we know it's a lot about learning and teaching, so which are connected. So of course you start out as a student in any area of interest, and at some point you have learned so much that it becomes kind of a natural flow that you become a teacher, you become an expert for something. So for the full moon in Gemini this month, you might want to think about what you can learn, what you're curious about. Is there something, teaching, a course you want to take? Is there a book you wanted to sink your teeth in? So learning and teaching, this is really available for you more than usual. And of course, with Gemini, we talk about the voice and the self-expression and our skillfulness in expressing ourselves. So for you, I have the question, where is it in your life? Where do you need to find your stronger voice? Where is it you have been holding back? What's your specific skills? You need to find a better flow to share it with others. So I have Gemini rising, so I can very well connect with the Gemini qualities. So here my suggestion for you is to deepen your skills as a speaker, for example, by joining Toastmasters. So I did that for a year, and I don't know how much it has really helped me in my elegance of the English language. I'm doubtful, but nevertheless, it did help me to give me more fluidity and more self-consciousness that somehow I will be able to express myself. With Gemini, we often talk about the speaker, the communicator, the storyteller, and that's all a part of Gemini. But the flip side of that is the willingness and the ability to listen. And I really think that's a very valued quality to have. So you could make a point this month to really remind yourself to leave some open space with people you are together with, and an open mind to listen, to create space for the other person to express himself. So a good listener is a really, really helpful skill to have. Tourmaline, one of the true birthstones for Gemini this month. So tourmaline is a wonderful stone. It appears in every color of the rainbow, and often they even come in two-colored stones like green pink, the watermelon we know, or pink blue, or gold green. So it's one of the most creative colored stone we can find. So most tourmalines come from Brazil. It's a fairly hard stone, so it can be used nicely in rings. And then the metaphysical qualities really depend on the color. So the color will relate to different chakras and therefore to different aspects in what it supports in us. So I will make another video for you about the tourmaline. So if you're more interested in that. So in general, we can say because tourmaline is known for its piezoelectric qualities, it has a strong connection to the nervous system. So it acts on the electrical flow within the body, balance it, and restores a lot in our mind-body system. So there is a connection to the brain and helping it to function properly. So tourmaline is a beautiful stone to have. So if you haven't done so yet, now it's a good time to sign up for your free subscription on YouTube. Or if you really want to keep informed, you might want to sign up for my newsletter. And there you will get access to your free horoscope, your birth chart, and your free love stone report. And please, if you like my video, like it and leave me a comment. So it helps me to keep this going. So I know there's actually somebody out there who appreciates what I'm doing. So thank you for connecting with me. If you're really interested in astrology, I'd like you to know that I do teach astrology classes for beginners once in a while. So it could be something you're interested to learn for your own inner process or to start a new career. Either way, connect with me, send me an email, and I will let you know about the specifics and when the next training is going to start. As an evolutionary astrologer with 37 years of experience, I'm very passionate about astrology, you might be able to tell, and I truly believe that you are born to thrive and that your astrological blueprint is there to help you with your karmic healing and a profound transformation. And it's all happening in our consciousness. So if you're interested to have a look at your personal chart with me, give me a call. I'm in Hawaii. 808-878-8182, or head over to my website and connect with me there, mauiastrologyreading.com. Thanks for coming and listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like me, and I hope to see you soon again. And as we say here on Maui, aloha.
Bu akşam seminerimizi canlı olarak mobil uygulamamız üzerinden yapıyoruz.